Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamb, and today I have a book review on Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that author's name right, so I'm very sorry if I'm not. But basically, this book is about a girl named Louisa Clark, but they just call her Lou typically. And her job, like she's working at a cafe, but the cafe is moving, like the owner's moving away. So she's out of a job and she goes to find a new job and she ends up working for Will Trainer. And Will had an accident. I believe he's a quadriplegic. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct classification. But basically, he's dependent on all the people around him, and she is basically trying to uplift his spirits because Will has some, as it says on the back, shocking plans of his own. And Lou sets out to show him that life is still worth living. So that's basically the gist of this novel. It was very good. Now, this author in my bookstore, there was a little quote that said, "This is the next best UK export since Sophie Kinsella's books." And I absolutely love Sophie Kinsella's books, so I had high expectations for this book. And it did kind of remind me of a Sophie Kinsella book. Obviously different because this author has a different style. But it had that same kind of contemporary feel to it. Contemporary adult general fiction, that kind of feel. But I really enjoyed it. Basically, before I go any more into this review, I just want to say this is a spoiler-free review. As well, this book is an adult book. It's not a teen YA book, so if you're a younger reader, I don't think this will be too bad because I don't remember reading any cuss words, so I think there's minimal cuss words, and it's not very graphic in nature. I think, yeah, I don't think it's graphic that much in nature. So if you're a younger reader, not too young, but I don't think this would be the worst because of those factors. And basically also this book does deal with some very heavy topics. It does deal with the contemplation. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but basically you get this from the back. It deals with the topic of suicide. So if that's something that you're not comfortable reading about and seeing different viewpoints on the subject, this is probably not the book for you. But I got that from the back, like what kind of thing they were alluding to. But I just want to say that because I know some people are very comfortable with that subject matter, and I don't want them going into this book thinking that it's going to be just, more of a lighthearted read. It does deal with such serious topics. So, basically, if you're new to my book reviews or just need a refresher, I recommend books in 5 different categories: plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall in terms of reading, again, very soon 5 out of 5, not so soon, a 1 out of 5. And if I'm looking down or I'm looking at my notebook where I'm keeping score. Plot, I give a 5 out of 5. I really liked the plot. I really liked everything it went through. With also these heavy topics, there's a lot of philosophical elements, and part of my major is philosophy, and I absolutely love philosophy so much, so I really enjoyed seeing these topics. Now, this book, a lot of people said they cried, and they just bawled like babies. And I was expecting to cry, but I don't cry very often through books. Like, I'll get teary-eyed, but I cry very seldom. I think one of the only books I can recall really making me bawl was Dying Today by Aidan Chambers, which is absolutely one of my favorites. But this book didn't make me cry. I think now going through, I've discussed a lot of these matters, like a lot of the dark, deep matters in philosophy classes, and you can't really start crying. You have to have a serious face on. So I feel like reading about them talking about it wasn't as bad for me, and I didn't cry. But I definitely got a little bit teary-eyed because some of it was very sad. I love the plot, how it progressed, never a dull moment. Characters, I give a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love the characters. I loved both Lou and Will's characters a lot, and Nathan, who's Will's other caretaker. Those are my 3 favorite characters. I really like the side characters, like all the families and stuff like that, but if I was going to say my favorites, I would definitely pick those 3. I really like Lou's personality and how she was so determined, and just her personality I really enjoyed, and I really liked how her and Will's character friendship meshed. And I really love how all 3, they were kind of like a party of 3, like Nathan, Will, and Lou, how they'd all get along, and they're kind of just like a friend circle, even though they were hired to help Will, obviously. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And yeah, there's just a lot of sad moments, but there's a lot of happy moments, and yeah, I just really liked all the characters. Cover, I give a 4 out of 5. The reason I give the cover a 4 out of 5 is because one thing, I don't know if it's just me, but the curly letters and this cover really reminds me of a Christmas book. And honestly, at first I thought this was a Christmas book because, not to say that every cover that's red is Christmas, but just how the letters are curved and it's Me Before You, kind of like a giving title, and then the redness. If I'm the only one who thought that, but if somebody else thought that too, definitely let me know, because I don't know if I'm going crazy, but because I've seen so much buzz about it, I think last year, especially in the bookstore. Maybe that's why. And also, I don't really like the beige lettering with the red because the sequel is a white background with red letters and black letters. So I don't really like the beigeness of the writing. So yeah, that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5, and it's not too exciting. Suspense, I give a 5 out of 5. Though the cover wasn't as exciting. The book was definitely exciting. It kept me on my toes. It's not like a book of action, but it just kept going. Like, there was not really a dry spell where sometimes in contemporary you have a bit of a lull. It really kept going, and I can really see where the buzz, like, there's so much buzz about this book, and I can really see why there's so much buzz. And overall, I give a 5 out of 5. I definitely read this again. The sequel comes out next month, and I'm definitely picking that up because I really, really enjoyed this book. It's definitely one of my favorites I've read this calendar year. And yes, that's my book review on Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.